A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into Aviva Stadium. This is your National Collegiate Rugby Championships, the Division 1 AA Grand Final between the Louisville Cardinals and the Virginia Tech Hokies, brought to you by Next Level Rugby Productions. I'm Thomas Grant in the commentary box. Alongside me, Craig, the contact coach Wilson. A very good afternoon to you, Craig.
Thanks for having me, Thomas. I'm really excited for this game. This has got all the hallmarks of a classic. We're very excited.
Well, we can see both teams getting ready to take the pitch in this one. It is time now to have a look at how both of these teams got to Houston today. Virginia Tech, the road to Houston, a 5-3 record in the quarterfinal up against Tennessee, 38-34, and the semi-finals versus St. Joseph, 17 points to 15. Of course, 2021 champions. They are looking to go back-to-back today in Houston. They have some key players to look out for today on the field. Let's have a look at those three. Fernando Anduaga plays a player-coach role today for the Hokies. He is instrumental in the 10 jersey. Brandon Ng in the 15 jersey. And Jack Murphy, the busty number 7. He will be looking to make an impact. Craig, let's have a talk through this Louisville side.
Yeah, really excited for the University of Louisville. Very big attacking team. They like to play, and they're coming into the road to Houston with a 9-0 record. Very strong. A 27-5 win over South Carolina, and then a real classic with Binghamton last week. Last play of the game got them over the edge, so they're in the final this week. And they have a few key players to look out for. Mainly going to be keeping our eye on Angelo Eklu, big strong runner at 2, playmaker Aaron Stevenson, and number 13 AJ Aries. Key players for Louisville, so let's keep an eye out on those.
Well, you can see the players take the pitch here at Aviva Stadium. This is grand final time, your men's Division 1 AA Championship. The Louisville Cardinals up against the Virginia Tech Hokies. This one promises to be a classic. Virginia Tech, of course, coming up St. Trumpet over St. Joseph. Last week, 17 points to 15. And for the Cardinals, it was a buzzer beater effort from Aaron Stevenson that sent them through to the championship game today. This one will be a ferocious battle, as we saw the last game, the Lone Star Bowl. It was also a very entertaining encounter between Sam Houston State, the Bearcats, and Southern Nazarene Storm. The Bearcats winning that fixture, but our attention turns to this one. You can see on screen there, Angelo Eklu. He is such an instrumental player for this Cardinals side, isn't he, Craig Wilson?
Absolutely. We just go back to his try last week from a great defensive turnover. He gets the ball in space from 60 meters out, rounds the defense and breaks away. That's a modern day hooker there for you. And that really just shows you what Louisville are about. They're all about the attack. They really go at it hard. They've got good athletes there. And Angelo Eklu is one of their main guys who are going to give them go forward.
Well, both teams are going through their traditional pump-up routines now, getting the energy levels at an all-time high. This is what all of those hours on the training paddock come down to. Of course, the respective coaching staff of Virginia Tech and Louisville have done a great job to get them here today. Virginia Tech's coaching lineup of Quinn Bride, Sean Egan and Fernando Anduaga, who will see take action on the field, and Emil Walton for the Louisville Cardinals.
Here we go.
We are underway, ladies and gentlemen. It will be Cameron Dolan of the Cardinals to get us underway. D1 AA Championship Final, as it's immediately taken in there by Will Ritchie, who decides to send it straight down into the hands of Reed Terry. First of all into Stevenson, who's met strongly in contact. There's Donlan just setting a ruck early and gets it off to Devin Roosner. Donlan gets a flat pass off to Brennan Morton Strauss, who is met in a strong carry by Christopher Jensvold. Donlan, bit of a messy pass, but Morton Strauss again there to clean it up. They find it off to Connor Hayes, ranging in a bit of space on the outside. Donlan finds Rusner again. A couple of strong early carries for Devin Rusner. Stevenson, flat pass off to Eklu, who just shrugs off one tackle. The powerful hooker is Angelo Eklu. And Donlan gets it off to Stevenson, backdoor to Morton Strauss. Brendan Morton Strauss brought down in the tackle. And the Hokies with the first penalty of the game, holding on is the call. It's a great opening defensive stanza there from the Virginia Tech Hokies, Craig.
Yeah, that was an excellent stand. So you saw there that Louisville, they want to run the ball. That was 7 or 8 phases. There was no kicking in their mind, and that was really dangerous to cover. But you saw from the Virginia Tech, they were really patient at the ruck time, and when they saw that opportunity, then there was a disconnect between the attack and defense. He gets the turnover. That was a brilliant defensive effort there.
It will be the Hokies with the first real attacking set-piece opportunity of this game so far, as Moss feeds it into the line-out. It's taken down by Will Ritchie, the winger playing in the line-out for this one. Anduaga, flat pass off to Frank Maguire, the man wearing number 6 today. Here goes Anduaga, backdoor play off to Luke Kreitzer. Hamburger just rallying his troops and eventually finds his big 8-man in the form of Hunter Denisi. The Cardinals doing a great job to hold him up, but eventually gets brought to ground. Anduaga back to Maguire. Bit of space to move here on the left for Caspian Bailey. Hamburger just happy to find his forward runners early on and test out this Cardinals defense. Here goes Anduaga, backdoor to Caspian Bailey in the midfield of Luke Kreitzer. Wide flat pass out to Brandon Ing, or rather in the 24 it is Chance Church. Counter-up coming in from the Cardinals, and they almost do a good job of stealing it, but just retained by the Hokies. Hamburger gets it off to Paul Cardoni. Hamburger again, off to Anduaga. A little bit of space for Fernando Anduaga. Gets the pass away to Jacob Moss. Lovely quick hands here from the Hokies, exploiting the channel on the right side. Hamburger gets it off to Anduaga. Flat ball off to Maguire, who carries the ball with some real vigor and power. Anduaga gets caught up a little bit there and flat-footed, and the Cardinals do a great job of coming on to him through Devin Rusa. Here goes Dylan McGivney. A little bit flat-footed, and the Cardinals have stolen this, so great defense there by the Cardinals. Here's Donlan. Finds Hunter Denisi. Donlan again. Bit of space to move for Donlan. Gets it off to Stevenson. Finds his midfielder in the form of Luke Kreitzer. Here's Stevenson again. Wrapped up by Brandon Ing. So instrumental in last week's game was Aaron Stevenson for the Cardinals. Donlan just looking for his runners and finds one at the back in the form of Caspian Bailey, who feeds his lot Cardis Ravelin. Donlan, wide pass out to Carter, or Jacob Moss rather. Donlan just looking for runners, and he finds Ravelin again. The Cardinals just happy to move it from width to width here so far as Donlan gets ready to set for the ruck again. Here goes Eklu, the powerhouse from Lome. Good carry there by Angelo Eklu. Donlan finds Stevenson. Lovely flat pass off to Danny Bombard. Bit of space here for the Cardinals, but it's been lost forward, so the Hokies regaining possession once more. Brandon Ing goes into play scrum half and gets it off to Hunter Denisi, or Jake Summers rather. Here goes Anduaga, a little bit of space to move. Gets it off to Caspian Bailey. Hamburger Off to Anduaga. Relentless passage of play so far as it's taken in by Paul Cardoni. Hamburger goes for the left side option. There's a little bit of space here for Will Ritchie in the headgear. Hamburger finds a runner in the form of Tyler Poole, bursting on with a great game line carry. The Hokies knocking on the door of the Cardinals. Anduaga, left foot step, bit of space to Hamburger. Relentless attack so far from Virginia Tech. Here goes Brandon Ing with the pick and go. Ball pops out at the back for Hamburger. It's messy stuff, but he does a great job to retain possession, but a penalty goes the way of the Cardinals, and wow, catch your breath, Craig Wilson. It's been a frantic opening 6 minutes to this final.
That was an incredible series of play. Ball in play for about 5 minutes, which doesn't sound a lot, but that is huge in rugby. And there was turnovers left and right for both teams. Right now, the defenses are both on top. They're stopping the momentum of the attack, and that's what's keeping this game really interesting, because turnovers are at a premium. But when they do get the turnover, it's important that both teams really try and move that ball, because there is opportunities out there. But that was some period of play there. Credit to both teams.
Certainly an incredible opening to this D1 AA final between the Cardinals and the Hokies, and Aaron Stevenson with the ball in hand will look to try and relieve a bit of pressure that's being applied by the Hokies, and he finds touch just beyond the 22-metre mark. As we see on the replay, fantastic work. It was the halfback, Donlan, who did a great job of getting the ball turned over. And they get the line out here. It's taken in by Jake Summers, who finds his runner in the form of Devin Roosner again, and he's lost it forward. So back in possession is Paul Cardoni. Hamburger finds his runner in the form of Jack Murphy. Good attempt. Anduaga waiting at first receiver. Flows the flat pass off to his midfielder in the form of Luke Kleitzer. Just happy to keep things tight at the moment. Virginia Tech. Here goes Jack Murphy again. Penalty advantage, says the referee. So the Hokies with a great opportunity to strike first in this final. Here goes Will Ritchie. Ritchie takes it into contact. Anduaga takes it on himself. Fernando Anduaga breaking through. Anduaga, Virginia Tech strike first in this Division 1 AA final, and it is the player coach, Fernando Anduaga.
He has looked threatening all game. He's just finding little half yards. And Fernando Anduaga, he finds that hole that he's been looking for the last 5 minutes, and he slices through. It was a brilliant bit of build-up play. Louisville were really going hard at those rucks, but when they got that opportunity, it's just an outside break, and then he's got the athleticism and the awareness to step through, and then he charges for the try line under a lot of pressure. He gets pressure down on the ball. That's a very good try from Virginia Tech, and in particular their man, Fernando Anduaga.
Of course, Fernando Anduaga, so instrumental for them last week. Out of Ashburn, 21 years of age. He's a grad student and certainly an experienced head for this Hokie side. And the 3 points, or the 2 rather, is a good one. So 7 points to 0. Hunter Denisi, the number 8, taking the kicking duties today for the Hokies. First blood drawn by Virginia Tech. Get ready for the restart through Cameron Donlan. What an opening to this final we have had so far. Plenty of action and phase play, and no doubt more to come as Cameron Donlan restarts proceedings. Nice deep restarts taken in there by Will Ritchie down the left here. A bit of space here for Will Ritchie, the big tall winger. Here he goes, Ritchie. Tries to look for the offload, and it's given away back to the Cardinals. So here goes AJ Ayers with the ball in his hand. Donlan gets it off to Eklu. Fends off one. Gets the pass away to Eklu, off to Morton Strauss. Brought down in the tackle eventually is Brennan Morton Strauss. Gets it off to Stevenson, the hero last week. Lovely tip pass on to Parker Anderson. Here come the Cardinals. Stevenson off to Ayers. And they get the penalty. Donlan taps and go quickly. Here come the Cardinals through Stevenson again. Jensvold. Strong carry there from Christopher Jensvold. Stevenson gets the flat pass from Dylan McGivney.
One step, guys, behind him.
Donlan just looking for his runners, and he finds one here. Lovely direct running there from Jacob Kinsey. And they get the penalty again, so the Cardinals on a bit of a roll here, and Donlan wants to continue that. Here goes Cameron Donlan. Gets the pass away to Jensvold. Playing with some real pace in this D1AA final. Here goes McGivney, the big prop. Out of Chicago, Illinois. He's going close to the line. Dylan McGivney. And he's just lost it forward, but both of these teams, Craig Wilson, are wanting to play at a real fast tempo here.
Yeah, really impressed with Louisville there. They are tapping and going. They want to keep tempo. They want to keep the ball in play. Massive respect for that game plan because it is tiring, and they're looking effective, particularly when they're playing on the gain line. You've noticed they've got their offloading game firing, which is finding gaps. Once they start to pass the ball throughout the backs, it does tend to get a little bit deep, and that's given Virginia Tech an opportunity to cover in defense. So if Louisville can keep playing on the gain line, get their offloading, quick game going, I think they're going to be on the score sheet pretty soon.
First scrum of the game, and Louisville have the heavier pack out of the two sides, but Virginia Tech get the penalty on this first occasion, so an early infringement spotted at scrum time by the referee. Virginia Tech will look to no doubt relieve this counter-attacking pressure that's been applied by the Cardinals after that first try. The man with the ball in his hand, Fernando Anduaga, the magician in that 7 points. Rather, it was Hunter Danesi taking the kick to line.
Here. Yep.
Get ready to settle into the line out as Jack Lowish or Evan Goes will feed into the line out with the headgear
Just look for it every time, guys.
for the Hokies. Goes gets it into Tyler Poole, and it's messy, but not collected at the back by Robbie Hamburger. So the Cardinals get possession handed right back to them at line-out time, and good opportunity here, Craig Wilson, to see what Louisville can bring from set piece in this final.
Yeah, for sure. This is a great attacking opportunity. They've got the scrum. It was a little bit shaky, the scrum just a few moments earlier, what led to that line out. So Louisville will be looking to get nice and tight here, get together as an 8-man, and then they can launch their attack because this is a brilliant attacking position.
Donlan gets ready to feed the ball into the scrum, but the referee says we will have a restart on that occasion. The pack for the Cardinals, Dylan McGivney, Angelo Eklu and Devin Rusner, all studying finance and business administration, so plenty of smarts in that front row for the Cardinals today. Donlan gets the ball in this time. He feeds it off to Stevenson, looking to play a flat midfield play off to AJ Ayers, who collects it in turn. Stevenson looking for his runners and finds one in the form of Parker Anderson. As Donlan again gets it off to Dylan McGivney in the red tights. You can see the 22-metre line just in front there for Stevenson. Flat pass off to Brennan Morton Strauss. Messy ball, but they get the penalty. Stevenson taps and goes quickly again, looking to continue this pace. Dummies one and goes.
No, he's fine. He's fine.
Donlan gets it off to Christopher Jensvold, the man out of Fishers.
5, come on now.
It's in the hands now of Reed Terry. Beats one. Still going Reed Terry. In the 15 jumper today. McGivney has had a mountain of carries so far in this game. Almost causes an obstruction, but play on, Dewey.
That's fine.
Roosner just loses it forward into contact, so the Hokies will get possession back, but promising stuff for the Cardinals, Craig. They're certainly looking good with ball in hand, but potentially just a little bit rushed on that occasion.
Yeah, they are. It's a quick tap penalty again. You can see the style of play that Louisville want to do. They want to keep that tempo high. The knock-on effect of that is the structure is disappearing just a little bit as the phase count starts to increase. So Virginia Tech are making Louisville go through the phases, and that's just helping them lose a little bit of structure, and then that's where the knock-on and skill set errors come through. But we've got a really fascinating battle here.
Robbie Hamburger gets the ball into the scrum for Virginia Tech, but the Cardinals get a strong shunt on, and they get the penalty. Louisville, the front row of McGivney, Eklund, and Roosner. Donlin gets it off to Jacob Kinsey. Stevenson, first receiver, flat pass off to Reed Terry. Straight back on attack here are the Cardinals. Here's Eklund, the try scorer last week, such a powerful runner. Donlin looking for runners. Finds Stevenson again, who dances through one, and they are in for the try. Reed Terry, or rather it is Brennan Morton Strauss in the number 12 jersey, and the Louisville Cardinals are straight back into this D1 AA final through Brennan Morton Strauss.
And you could see that coming. Again, it came from a quick tap penalty. Louisville, you've got to admire the DNA. They are not taking points when it's on offer through the kick. They're tapping and going, and they're playing, and then big players for them. You've got Angelo Eklu, who was really strong on that big carry. Then Aaron Stevenson, and I mentioned it just a little bit before. It was an offload, what got in behind the defense, and then a brilliant finish there from Brennan Morton Strauss. Just exactly what Louisville needed, but also very well deserved.
Well, it was fantastic stuff there from Aaron Stevenson. As we said, he scored the winning try for the Cardinals last week to get them to Houston today, and he has a major part in the first try for them today, just squaring up those defenders and getting the lovely offload away there to Brennan Morton Strauss, the man out of Cincinnati, Ohio. It will be Cameron Donlin to add the 2 points on top, and he does just that as it thunders towards the scoreboard. We have 7 apiece here at Aviva Stadium in Houston. So you look at the replay again. Talk us through it, Craig Wilson.
Yeah, it was just playing on the gain line. You saw Aaron Stevenson there in the pink scrum hat, playing on the line, gets his hands free after his footwork, offload, and an offload is only as good as a support line. And number 12, Morton Strauss, ran a great line on Aaron Stevenson's shoulder, and he's under the post, and he gets his team 5 points with the kick. So now up to 7. Some game we've got going on here.
Denisi gets us back underway and sends the long, deep restart down to Stevenson, but it's drifted too far, so the Cardinals will get the option of a scrum on halfway, or the re-kick, which I'm sure we know, based on their last scrum, which chance they'll take here, Craig Wilson. The scrum was certainly a powerful force, which got them that first try.
Yeah, absolutely. The first scrum was a little bit shaky, but since then the next 2 have been really strong, and it's provided them a platform to attack. And with that kick going dead, it's a scrum now on halfway, and this is one of the best attacking opportunities in rugby, because the defense has to defend both sides of the field, so it's really difficult to overload defensively. So you've got to be a bit more passive, and with Louisville playing like they are, expect them to try and find a hole here.
The Cardinals looking to extend their lead. 20 minutes in this one so far, 7 apiece. Stevenson gets it off to Morton Strauss, the try scorer, who finds his winger in the form of Connor Hayes, the man out of Akron, Ohio. Donlin gets it off to Eklu, just past the halfway meter mark. Strong carry from Angelo Eklu. Stevenson off to Jensvold. Quick tip on pass back into the hands of AJ Ayers, who just collects it in time before the Hokies come and try to steal it.
Let's use it.
Donlan looking for runners, and he finds one eventually. Here comes Dylan McGivney.
It's there.
Pleading for the ball was Donlan, and he gets it. Stevenson puts the chip through, but it's been charged down by the Hokies. Stevenson does a job just to go back and get it in time.
All right, guys.
Donlan, wide pass out here to Danny Bombard.
Behind his feet. Behind his
The
feet.
Cardinals now inside their own 22, needing to exit. Here's Devin Roosner.
Outside.
Just past the 22 are the Cardinals. Donlan gets it back to Stevenson, who puts it on his trusty right foot boot and doesn't find touch on this occasion. So Will Ritchie on the counter-attack here for the Hokies. Here's Will Ritchie down the left. Ritchie going in as Will Ritchie, and he gets the try. The Hokies
Momentum, and he had one placement.
through Will Ritchie, and a piece of counter-attacking brilliance get the third score in this one.
11.
And that is some individual effort, Craig Wilson.
Absolutely. So it came from a charge down kick initially, what put the Cardinals under pressure, and then another kick didn't find touch, and then up steps that man, Will Ritchie. Brilliant athleticism, how he cuts in field, and then he heads for the touchline as well. He's got the fend, he's got the power, and he's got the pace to get the try. So what a brilliant effort here as we look back on the replay. You'll see the kick didn't quite go out, and that gives Ritchie an opportunity to counter-attack. He fields that really well. One step, two step, finds a gap, he accelerates. He's through. He's got the ball on the left-hand side so he can fend there. That's really smart. Reaches out, gets the try. That is a brilliant individual effort there.
It sure was. The man in his junior year, 20 years of age, studying finance and real estate. It is some statement in this final for Will Ritchie. He plays a dynamic role for this Hokie side. You see him feature at the line-out purely due to his height. He is, of course, 6'4", which makes him the tallest player in this Virginia Tech side. So such a utility for the Hokies, and they get ready to extend
Where did the ball go?
with the 2 points on top.
Okay. We needed that ball back. Can I have that one, please?
So we have another look at the next level rugby replay here of that fantastic effort. It all started, as you said, Craig, from
All right, we have time back on.
this fantastic
22:05.
counter-attacking effort. Still had a lot of work to do, did Ritchie. Bet about 3 defenders on his way there, and the referee said that momentum took him over the line, and it certainly did.
Okay.
Johnny on the spot to make the call. What a try.
Yeah, there was an excellent bit of detail in there. You saw how he held the ball on his left hand, essentially the side of his body furthest away. As we watch the kick here, which drifts slightly left, he keeps the ball furthest away from the defender so he can use that rangy handoff or fend to keep the opposition at bay. So it's a little bit of detail, but it made all the difference in that score.
12 points to 7. Just over 22 minutes gone. It has been an entertaining opening to this fixture, your D1AA final. You can see the fans in the stands with plenty of energy and enthusiasm in this one, cheering on their respective sides. Of course, we are at the home of the Houston Sabercats today. A great opportunity for these collegiate players to play on an MLR field as Donlan gets us back underway. And straight back on the exit are the Hokies, so it falls back in the hands here of the Cardinals, and it's Reed Terry to Stevenson with the ball in his hand, gets it back off to Donlan. Now back to Stevenson. Looking to really move the ball from width to width are the Cardinals. There goes Parker Anderson, the man wearing number 6 today for the Cardinals with a carry. Eklu taps it off to Christopher Jensvold.
Take a step back, eh? Thank you. One more step back.
The Cardinals find McGivney again with another carry, mounting over double digits for Dylan McGivney so far in this final. Stevenson, flat-footed, and he gets met by a strong defensive line in the form of the Hokies. Donlan looks for runners, finds McGivney again. Needing to exit here are the Cardinals. Gets it off to Eklu. Beats Wonders Eklu. Almost shrugs off the second, but gets brought down just beyond the 22-metre mark. Stevenson off to Morton Strauss to Ayers. In the hands now of Connor Hayes. Or Liam Johnson, rather, on the left wing. Donlan finds Roosner. Driven back strongly there by Frank Maguire of the Hokies. Donlan gets ready to shape for the box kick here as he gets his postmen up, and Donlan puts it up to the sky with the box kick. It's found just beyond the 10-metre mark here for the Hokies on the counter-attack. Brandon Ing gets it off to Anduaga, to the try scorer Will Ritchie. He's wrapped up just there on the 10-metre mark inside the Louisville Cardinals half. Here goes Maguire with a busting run. Hamburger gets it off to Anduaga. Flat pass off to Ing. Brandon Ing. The Hokies just looking to get back into their stride here through Anduaga. And gets the pass away to Chance Church, who just loses control of that one. So an opportunity here for Louisville to maybe potentially exit here, Craig.
Yeah, it seems like we need to think about exiting with the kick a little bit early in their phase play. Louisville, as the phases start to increase, are going further and further back, which is then making it much more difficult to kick. And you saw the box kick there from Louisville. It was in the midfield, and it was a great attacking opportunity for Virginia Tech. To be fair to Louisville, they stopped it, and they managed to get the ball back. But maybe just think about exiting that little bit earlier, just so they're playing in the right areas of the field. But I have to admire their ambition. They like the ball in hand, and fair play to them for that.
Donlan gets the ball into the scrum. Stevenson, wraparound play with Morton Strauss. It's back in the hands of Stevenson, who gets it off to the speedy Connor Hayes. Bumps off Brandon Ing in a brutal collision. A little bit of counter-rucking there from the Hokies, but they do a good job to maintain position, do the Cardinals. Donlan looking for runners. Finds Ayers, who gets it off to McGivney again. Donlan in the hands here of AJ Ayers. Now with Danny Bombard, the man out of Evergreen Park. 16 minutes to go in the first half of this one as Stevenson collects it flat-footed, and we know what sort of dancing feet this man has. Donlan gets it off to McGivney again. Just happy to try and pinch meters as Dylan McGivney has put in a mountain of carries, and it's been lost forward. So the Hokies straight back on attack here through number 18, Evan Goez. And the Cardinals get the penalty though, so right against the runner play for holding on. You can see some hands on knees there for Evan Donlan. I'd love to know how much ground and meterage we've covered so far in this game, Craig, but there has been a lot of phase play and running for these players.
Absolutely, there has been a lot of ball and play time, and that's just excellent to see. Both teams are going for it, and you'll see with Louisville, they're at their best when they're playing off 9 and they've got their big ball carriers and they're trying to get the offloading game going. So they want to be playing a little bit more off 9, off scrum half to get that initial go forward, because Virginia Tech's defense out wide is very connected, it's very patient, and that's why you're starting to see those turnovers. And there was a big opportunity to score there. So Virginia Tech have just got to remain patient and build up the score from there.
Here you go, the Cardinals. It's in the hands now of Angelo Eklu. He beats one, still going Eklu, and they get the penalty advantage as well. So the Cardinals looking to play a little bit of magic here. Puts the chip through to Stevenson, and no advantage, says the referee. So we will come back for the penalty, and he wants to have a little bit of a chat to the Hokies as well. We'll try and listen in here.
So there have been a number of penalties. There's already 7, 2 in the scrum, a couple offside, 3 in the breakdown.
We just generally need better discipline all the way around. Talk to me, please.
Hey, boy.
You can see the referee there just telling the Virginia Tech players to just try and slow down this trend of penalties that they've got. So a bit of a general warning there for the Hokies. And the Cardinals tap and go through Donlan. Gets it. And a strong carry there for Christopher Jensvold. Off to Eklu now. A number of carries for that man as well. Stevenson gets it off to Morten Strauss. Hayes. Rather, Reed Terry. A little bit of room to move here. Down the left channel for the Cardinals. Here goes Jensvold with another carry. Loses it forward in contact, so we will come back for the scrum. Just want to talk, Craig, about some of these carries that these Cardinals, front row in particular, have put in. Dylan McGivney, Angelo Eklu and Devin Roosner really working hard to repetitively have efforts on the ball.
Absolutely, that's credit to them. They are working hard. Most of those players, you've got Dylan McGivney, you've got Angelo Eklu, Devin Roosner, they must be in double digits of carries already, and we're only 30 minutes into the game. So excellent work from them. Now they just need that support. Once they do that hard carry, the ball needs to be fast, because then the likes of Aaron Stevenson can get into the groove. Unfortunately, the ruck speed's a little bit too slow for Louisville, and then that's allowing Virginia Tech to reset, get their defensive connection right, and then put Louisville under pressure. So we just got to get a little bit more ruck speed on the look from a Louisville point of view. But fair play to VT's defense. It's been really strong so far.
Everyone's going to stop. Everyone's going to stop.
As the referee just wants to have a little bit of a talking to both sets of front rowers. So
there's going to be some settling, and then we're going to stabilize. Stop telling me things, and let's play. Go.
He pretty much says, I'm the one with the whistle, so let me do the talking, like all good referees do, Craig Wilson.
Yep, referee knows best. That's the person in the middle. They have a whistle. As much as you may or may not like the call, always listen to it.
Absolutely, as Hamburger gets it off to Denisi, looking for his 9 again, and Hamburger just can't quite collect it, so the Cardinals back with the ball in the form of Connor Hayes. Donlan gets it off to Eklu. He goes McGivney again. Counter ruck from the Hokies coming in and trying to steal the ball, and they do get the penalty, so fantastic stuff there from the Virginia Tech Hokies.
Great pressure at the ruck time, man. It looks like Dylan McGivney, you've got to play the rugby ball on your feet. He was just lying in that ruck and he kicked the ball away right in front of the referee. You're never going to get away with that. But Virginia Tech chose to really counter ruck really well at that ruck, and they got their reward. They got their turnover. But good signs from Louisville there. They've got some really good go forward. I think that could be a good game plan for them as this game starts to progress.
Absolutely, as Virginia Tech fine touch around about 10 metres away from the Cardinals' 22-metre line. We are into the final 9 minutes of this first half, and it's been a tense and entertaining encounter so far. Your National Collegiate Rugby Finals, brought to you by Next Level Rugby Productions. 12 points to 7, the Hokies with the arm wrestle so far, as Jacob Moss comes down with the ball, and the Cardinals counter ruck again, and a counter attack rather, and get the ball. But a penalty to the Hokies, so just isolated there was Donlan, and the Hokies did a great job through Hunter Denisi of getting on the ball straight away.
Yeah, if you make a mistake, you've got to get back onto that ball as quickly as possible, and that's exactly what Robbie Hamburger there, number 9, did. He got his ball back for his team, but Virginia Tech's lineouts have been a little bit shaky. They've had 3 so far, and not one of them has been clean. So that's something they're going to have to think about tidying up so they can keep the possession.
And that is some sort of a touch finder there from Denisi for the Hokies. As you can see the replay here, it was Hamburger I apologise, who got the penalty. I gave Denisi all the credit, but Robbie Hamburger, the 9, did a great job, but it was Denisi who has put them in a very good position here to extend their lead 5 metres out from the Cardinals line. No doubt some sort of a drive coming here. Will Ritchie takes it in, gets it off to Hamburger. It's in the form here of Goes, who got a messy ball at the back, but it's cleaned up by Zach Harding wearing number 20. Here goes Frank Maguire, met strongly by Eklu and Morton Strauss in the tackle. Here goes Moss, Jacob Moss, close to the line here, Virginia Tech. Anduaga drops it backwards. Bit of space here for Fernando. Anduaga gets the offload away. Going close was Luke Kreitzer. Close here, the Hokies, but it's been turned over by the Cardinals. So just short of the line with Virginia Tech, and the Cardinals do a great job of retaining possession. Looking to exit here are Louisville.
Let's go. Use it.
Donlan just rallying his troops and getting them into position for an exit.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Stevenson demanding for the ball at the back, and got to be careful not to give away the penalty here, and they do. So the Hokies straight on the ball.
Not tackled. 9 had rights. 9, you're here.
Just guilty there, Craig. The Cardinals have a little bit of confusion potentially around breakdown time.
Absolutely. We're going to just check out, see if they tap and go here before we go into a bit of analysis. We'll let this run through, see what happens.
That was stripped.
Well, the Cardinals have stripped it in the tackle, so the Hokies not doing a good job on that occasion, and Louisville will get another chance here to exit through Stevenson, who finds touch eventually.
Yeah, so maybe that's what they needed to do on that first phase when they got down there. So I think there's a bit of a strong wind down in Houston right now, so it's making it difficult for the team playing from right to left to exit. But they managed to get their shape in there. They get the ball back to Stevenson, who does get an exit. Perhaps it could be a box kick there because it's difficult to pass the ball back 10 yards to then kick it 30 yards. But they've got the exit. Let's see how this line out pans out.
Evan Goes gets the ball tapped back at the line out by the Cardinals, so Liam Johnson came up with the ball and they managed to exit, do the Cardinals rather, so the Hokies straight back on attack through Brandon Ing. And they get the penalty though, do the Cardinals against the runner play. Fantastic stuff at the breakdown. Think it's Morton Strauss.
Yeah, and that's much better there, Thomas. It was an early exit. It was a great kick from Stevenson. And then a kick, it's an old adage, is only as good as its chase. And that chase was brilliant. You're going to see on the replay here, it was a good chase. They got the tackle nice and low, so he brings him down to the floor. That allows a contest. Great, strong body position. Targets the floor. You're not going to move him from there. Brilliant turnover, and that's good, smart rugby.
Great technical work there by the Cardinals, and they get the line out here through Jensvold. Gets it off to Donlan, who finds Eklu. Just hurdles over one defender, so hot on attack here are Louisville. Stevenson in the midfield of Ayers, who loses a bit of control, but backwards says the referee, so we play on.
Use it.
Just under 4 minutes to play in this first half here at Aviva Stadium in Houston. Donlan gets it off to Jensvold. Christopher Jensvold.
Good try. Good
all 6'4" of that man. Here goes Eklu again. A little bit of space here for the Cardinals if they can move it, and they do in the form of Liam Johnson, the man out of Illinois. Here goes Stevenson off to Jensvold again. Mountains of carries for these Cardinals players so far. A little knock on, but we play on. Eklu gets the ball tapped out of his hands, so Stevenson has to go back and clean up proceedings, but knock on by Virginia Tech, says the referee, and we'll have time off for a little bit of an injury here. There's number 6,
ask me anyway.
Parker Anderson.
So that one I saw.
Looks a scary figure, doesn't he, Craig Wilson?
I saw it. I was right there, but
Yeah, he's a big boy, and that's why those fellas are getting great go forward. We mentioned it before, playing off 9, and you'll notice when the Cardinals play off 10, they're playing really deep. It's almost like a 7 system. The ball is going back 5-10 yards every single time, and then with a slight skill set error or good defense from VT, the ball's just getting turned over so much deeper than Louisville would like. So they're at their best when they're playing on the front foot, because as you mentioned, there's really big men in there and they're getting go forward. So that's just something I would probably like to see in the second half, if they can play, Cardinals can play a little bit more on the gain line, because boy, they look threatening when they carry hard, particularly with the guys like Eklu, and they've got the offloading game. They are really looking strong.
Yes.
Just under 3 minutes to play in the first half. This is really a critical part of the game before we head into the sheds. You can see the coaching staff there for Virginia Tech. Quinn Bride and Sean Egan. Quinn Bird, rather. So
that's the standard. You basically dove over the back. Yeah, go ahead.
The guy there too keeps clawing us the neck on his stiff arms.
the referee just
Real high, but I think it's by accident.
I mean,
having a little bit of a chat to the front row. Of course, always have something to say,
I get you.
don't they, Craig Wilson, front rows?
Oh, absolutely. It was any opportunity you can have to chat to a referee, maybe get them or him or her on side is really, really important. But the referees at this level, they're clever enough. They know what's going on. They just like clear communication, and then we all get on with the game.
Yeah, we'll use this.
Get
The time is on.
ready to feed it into the scrum, and not longer away from half-time, we will be heading sideline to have a chat to the head coach of Louisville. Then we'll roll in a couple of minutes' time, but still more action to go here through Stevenson. Finds his midfield runner in the form of AJ Ayers. Looking to try and finish the first half with equaling or extending that scoreboard. Here goes McGivney. Donlin finds Stevenson. Morton Strauss, messy pass, but he's done a good job of collecting it up. It's AJ Ayers rather. Counter-attack coming in from the Hokies, but managed to lock it down, do the Cardinals. Here goes Eklu. Such a powerful runner, gets it off to Morton Strauss this time. Brendan Morton Strauss. Turnover from the Hokies. Pleading for the penalty, but it's clean ball, so we play on. Stevenson, chip and chase. A little bit of space for him to move, but Brandon Ing collects it, and he's isolated under all sorts of pressure. Hamburger tries to dig it out for the Hokies and just manages to get it out in time. So a minute to go, or just over on the clock. Virginia Tech looking to try and slow this one down. Hamburger looking for the exit and gets it off to Luke Kreitzer, who finds touch just beyond the 22-metre mark. So last opportunity here, Craig, for the Cardinals to try and level that scoreboard.
Absolutely, and that was really well worked from Aaron Stevenson. He's noticed that Louisville aren't going around the defense, so it's like, okay, let's go over him, and that little chip kick was brilliant, what put him under pressure, and great work defensively.
Jensvold gets it down and gets it off to Eklu now in the midfield. Finds the big number 7 in the form of Jacob Kinsey. Stevenson, flat pass, and Anduaga goes to collect it, but doesn't do so cleanly, so we'll come back for the penalty advantage. Relatively right in front of the stick, so a really key decision here to be made by the Cardinals, and you can already see Donlin pointing towards the post, and that's just what they'll do. Good decision is that, Craig Wilson.
Yeah, it's a smart decision. It looks like there's fatigue setting in now for Louisville. Their structure's going just that little bit. So an opportunity to go into halftime with momentum, hopefully for their point of view, with 10 points, so 12-10, it's a one-score game. So really just a wise decision right now. And obviously everyone's got to keep a line because this ball could come off the post or it might not go dead. So the game's not over yet.
If you're a coach, you can't be on the field. Are you a coach?
Exactly right. And
Go away.
the referee just sending the marching orders to one of the Cardinals management members there. So all over proceedings in the first half today. That's the referee team. They've done a great job in this D1AA final thus far. And it will be Cameron Donlan to try and send us into halftime, narrowing that deficit to 2 points. As you can hear birds chirp in the background. Donlan strikes it well. It is direct, and that is halftime here at Aviva Stadium. Your NCR D1AA Grand Final action. It is Virginia Tech 12 points to 10, leading the Cardinals into the half, and it is time now to throw it down sideline to Tyler, who has the head coach of the University of Louisville Cardinals, Emil Walton.
Head coach Louisville Rugby, Emil Walton. You're no familiar from fighting back from a loss, from a deficit. What are you going to tell your teammates at the half to turn it around?
Well, I think our biggest thing is right now we're not running the system and the structure that we prepared for. So I think it's just first-time jitters. We have a really young team, first time at the national championship game. So I think we're just trying to get them to get in their heads that we run a shape in a system, get it from train track to train track, and then we'll start exploiting the midfield.
You told me that you're working with a young side here. What does it mean, someone with so much experience in the game, teaching these kids all the way to a national championship?
I mean, I love working with young American kids. I think there's enough talent in America. They just need the right coaching. And, I mean, this is a clear example of that. We didn't have any foreign players on our team. We truly believe that we'll take young American kids and then we'll just groom them and bring them through the system. So proud of the boys. I think we only have one senior graduating. The rest are all sophomores and freshmen. So we're pretty happy with what we've done so far.
Well, Coach, you guys look good, and we look forward to seeing the outcome in the second half. Have a good one. Back to you guys in the booth.
That is all your first half action here at Aviva Stadium. The words there from University of Louisville coach Emil Walton. We will be back with you in just a moment's time. It is the 40 minutes that counts here on Next Level Rugby.
And a good morning to you, rugby fans. Welcome to beautiful New Orleans, Louisiana. We have Sevens rugby action coming for you all day.
Blow up the spot, then we running. Ready or not, here we coming. Somebody better say a prayer for me. Tonight may get a little crazy.
Handles that one, finally moving out. It looks like they are in the try zone again, extending their lead.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Since 1979, we've been searching for perfection. We've been thinking, sketching, and designing. We've been building, assembling, and strengthening. We've been cutting, shaping, and painting. created strength and beauty time and again. Our machines are made for one thing: the perfect hit. We are the crouch. We are the bind. We are the set. We are the squeeze. We are the hit. We are Rhino, home of the scrum.
Virginia Tech head coach, student coach Sean Egan here today. How does it feel to be back? 2021 national champion, student-led, by the way. You're back at it, another shot. How does it feel?
I mean, they've worked unbelievably hard to get here. You know, they played in a tough conference. I think they earned their spot here, and they surprised a lot of people with Tennessee and St. Joe's wins. And I want to specify, I'm not actually a coach. The guys on the field are the coaches. I mean, I'm serious. They do all this on their own, and everything they get, they earn.
And this mindset, this student-led mindset, this one hive mentality, how does that not only affect these guys' mentality on the field, but off the field?
They play with a chip on their shoulder. They really do. We don't have scholarships. You know, we don't have a coach, clearly, but they coach themselves. They play for each other. As a result, they're not playing to impress a coach. They're playing to impress the guy next to them.
Sean, I really appreciate you taking the time. We look forward to seeing the outcome of the second half. Yeah, have a good one. Back to you guys in the booth.
Great words there from Sean Egan, one of the coaches there for Virginia Tech, just saying how much this Hokie side is player-led, and they certainly are playing for each other today. We're back in here, second half action, and it's been charged down by the Hokies. Hamburger in for the try. Less than a minute into the second half action, and Virginia Tech extend their lead out of nowhere through Robbie Hamburger.
Yeah, that would be a tough one to take for the Cardinals. You can see it coming. The exits haven't been clean so far, and there's been a charge down earlier in the second half, what led to a bit of pressure, and exactly the same here. So kicking in the midfield is pretty difficult because it opens up the whole pitch, and then there's just really good pressure here from Virginia Tech. You're always chasing a low kick off the boot, and then it was just great pressure and then great awareness to turn around, pressure down, get the try. Perfect start from the Virginia Tech point of view.
Oh, you certainly can't ask for a better start than that. Less than a minute into the second half here at Aviva Stadium. Right out of the halftime sheds. Robbie Hamburger, the man out of Hillsborough, studying business, IT and management in his senior year at Virginia Tech. And just quickly from you, Craig Wilson, obviously a tense, tight first half encounter. If you're in both of these camps at halftime, what would you be saying to these players?
Well, first of all, in this situation now for the Cardinals, don't panic. If you're Aaron Stevenson, don't panic. You're a great player. These things happen. Get your next job as good as it can be. If you're from the Virginia Tech point of view, keep backing your defense. That is what has given them the opportunity for their tries. You look back to the try earlier in the second half from Will Ritchie. That came from good defensive pressure. This also came from defensive pressure, a charge down and a try. So Virginia Tech, keep your defense tight. Louisville, do not panic. Keep playing your game. There's still a long, long way to go.
Well, the conversion was unsuccessful, so it is a converted try. The deficit here at Aviva Stadium. The Hokies out to a 7-point lead, and they restart play with an exit, but the Cardinals straight back on attack here through Brendan Morton-Strauss. Gets the wide pass away there to Donlan. Now in contact through Parker Anderson on halfway. Here goes McGivney. Had a mountain of carries in the first half. Did the man in the red tights. Stevenson back to AJ Ayers. A little bit of a wide pass there, and it's down the far right channel here for the Cardinals. Here goes Christopher Jensvold. Another shining light for Louisville in that first 40 minutes. Stevenson. Backdoor play to Morton Strauss into the midfield of Ayers. Here goes Jacob Kinsey, the man with the fantastic mullet, and penalty, says the referee. So Donlan again taps and goes quickly, and no surprises, it's Dylan McGivney there to collect it. Stevenson, flat pass off to Angelo Eklu. Meets game line with ease. The Hokies pleading for the penalty, but no, says the referee, so Stevenson plays on and gets the offload away here in the midfield to Morton Strauss. Looks for an offload as well, but does the great job of keeping it in contact here is McGivney. Donlan finds Eklu. Direct again. There's a heavy amount of force being thrown around when Angelo Eklu carries the ball, as is this man, Jensvold. Working towards the 22, here are the Cardinals. Stevenson gets it into the midfield. There, Danny Bombard just loses it forward, so the Cardinals doing a lot of great work there, and it's just falling off at the last minute, Craig Wilson.
Yeah, it's been the story of the game for the Cardinals. They look so threatening when they've got their big ball carriers running off 9. And as soon as that ball starts to go out to the midfield or into the wider channels, there's been a lot of mistakes there. So from a Cardinals point of view, take the good, just try and keep momentum. And if you're getting go forward, keep that go forward. You don't always have to go wide because the shape dictates so. So we just need to be a bit patient. But you've got to give credit once again to Virginia Tech's defense. It's composed. They don't panic, they remain connected, and although Cardinals are dropping the ball right now, that's coming from defensive pressure, because when the Cardinals look up, there's defenders all in front of them, and then that's when mistakes happen.
Great analysis there by the contact coach, Craig Wilson, as Fernando Anduaga gets the wraparound play. A little bit of space here for Brandon Ing to move. The Hokies have been starved of the ball in recent times. The Cardinals doing a good job of retaining possession, but no doubt the Hokies still have the lead, and they cough back up possession here to the Cardinals. So Frank McGuire just loses it forward there. The Louisville Cardinals will pack down for a scrum. See here on the replay.
We talked about defensive pressure. Yeah, we talked about defensive pressure from VT to get the charge down kick. That's just as, although they didn't get the try, they've got the ball back in a wonderful attacking position. Just slightly center left, that opens up that whole right side. The scrum half needs to stay on the left for Virginia Tech, so there should be an overlap here.
Here go the Cardinals. A little bit of space here to move for Connor Hayes. Gets brought down past the 22, and the Hokies come in and steal it. Great job at the breakdown there. I think it's Brandon Ing who comes in and enforces the turnover. Rather, it was Fernando Anduaga, the player coach, who steps up at the right place, right time, and they get the penalty.
And Virginia Tech have been great here all day. If we manage to see the replay from the turnover, their skills at the ruck defensively are excellent. There's tackler, and then the next person in is getting a really good, strong opportunity to steal the ball. Some people call it a jackal, some people call it a poach, and they're doing that really well. They've got a number of turnovers from that today. So great work from their student leadership, as we heard at halftime, to coach those skills. They're difficult skills to coach, but they're doing it really well.
We see the replay there.
See that tackler. Yeah, the +1, he takes his time. He sees the opportunity when there was no attacking ruckers there. He pounces on the ball, gets the turnover. Louisville not rolling away. There's a couple of penalties you could have given there.
Really good stuff there. You can hear a little bit of a discussion there by Louisville trying to make the decision as to what they'll do, and they're going to opt for the scrum, and Eklund was pleading for that decision to be made, so it looks as if he got what he wanted. So good attacking opportunity here for the Louisville Cardinals. You can see the scrum brought 10 metres in, 15 metres in from touch, so a great attacking opportunity here for Louisville to strike back in the second half. Donlan gets it into the scrum. Here's Stevenson at first receiver. Goes himself to Stevenson. Donlan looks to go himself, but gets it off to Christopher Jensvold. It's in the hands here of Morton Strauss, and number 7, Jacob Kinsey, just loses control of it forward, so
Time off. Time off.
a couple of handing errors so far early on in the second half.
I just want to check him.
Craig Wilson potentially just awakening back into the action after the Waters and the Oranges at halftime.
Check the score.
Yeah, it'd be frustrating from the Cardinals coaching staff here. It's really difficult there from the coaching staff because they can see they're getting such. Unfortunately, when that ball goes wide from a Cardinal point of view, there's many knock-ons. It's been quite a theme for the game. Again, credit to Virginia Tech for getting those turnovers. But it's just something where Cardinals, if they can just tidy up, they can keep that go forward. They're going to give themselves a real opportunity. It's only a 7-point game right now, so it's really important that they just stick to their processes, don't panic, and they keep building. And Virginia Tech, just keep the defense how it's doing. It's been excellent so far.
Let's go, boys. Yes.
It certainly has been, as the referee signals time back on, so entering close to the final half an hour of this fixture. You can hear the crowd in the background. The intensity and the atmosphere at Aviva Stadium is electric. Robbie Hamburger, the man out of Hillsborough, feeds the ball into the scrum. Fernando Anduaga with the ball, takes it flat. Little midfield move here with Brandon Ing.
No, hands off! Hands on the ground first. No, stay. It's in.
Hamburger just digging in for the ball and finds his runner in the form of Frank Maguire. We know how elusive this number 6 is for the Hokies. Anduaga, flat pass off to Hunter Denisi, working past the 22 for Virginia Tech. Messy stuff there, but the Hokies collecting it deep inside their own 22. Caspian Bailey, that is some collision. And the penalty given as well for not rolling, so Craig Wilson, I could feel that contact from up here in the box.
Yeah, that makes me very happy. That was a very great, legitimate collision. Unfortunately, just on the ruck resulting from that tackle, there was a penalty given away, but great solid defense there.
They're pretty happy to play quickly here, Virginia Tech, inside their own 22, and they get the penalty again for a no-arms tackle. Here goes Fernando Anduaga, the player coach. Gets the ball way to Hamburger, already one try to his name in the second half. Anduaga goes in to play scrum half and gets it off to Hunter Denisi, the powerful number 8. Weighing in at 240, all brute force. Anduaga gets it off to Evan Goes. You can see the halfway meter line there on your screen, and the Hokies get another penalty, so that's 3 penalties in a row. Craig Wilson to the Hokies, so got to be careful to the Cardinals.
Absolutely, but I like what Virginia Tech have been doing. They haven't had a lot of ball this whole game, to be honest, but there you saw from the quick tap penalty from Anduaga, who got the go forward, and then good phases and good structure, and that's just caught the Cardinals offside, and the quick tap penalty here, and they're off and running once again.
Straight back on attack here, Virginia Tech. Hamburger digs in for the ball and finds a runner just beyond the 10-meter mark. Looking to set the maul are the Cardinals, but Tyler Poole manages to bring it to ground, so still in possession are the Hokies. Anduaga, backdoor ball to Brandon Ing. Great spot tackle there from Aaron Stevenson. Here come the Hokies. It's in the hands here of number 13, Luke Kreitzer. Down the left side touchline. It's turned over here by the Cardinals, so great stuff there from Connor Hayes, and they get the penalty. Tapping and going quickly is Conlon. He's done that a lot today. Jensvold. Eklu. A little bit of space for Angelo Eklu, the brute force hooker. Here goes Donlan. Looking for runners again in the form of Jensvold, who just loses control of the ball and knocks it forward. So possession back in the hands of Virginia Tech, and we can see a player there down injured, so hopefully everything is okay for that gentleman as he receives some medical attention.
Really frenetic first 13 minutes. But penalties amount.
Just a bit of defensive pressure there. Really liked the pressure, how it got off the line, forced a turnover, and we're going to see a lot more turnovers now as the last 25 minutes starts to creep up, because the ball has been in play for this game for a very, very long period of time. There's been very limited kicking. There hasn't been a lot of set piece. Therefore, the ball has been in play a long time. With the ball being in play a long time, fatigue starts to set in, and you're going to see a lot of players who are tired now. And you saw that in the last couple of phases of play. Tackles are starting to fall off a little bit, a few drop passes. So this game, I've got a feeling, is going to open up pretty soon. It just needs someone with a bit of spark to find that little bit of hole, and they're going to get themselves and their team either stretching the lead from the Virginia Tech point of view or from a Louisville point of view, getting yourself back into this game. But you just watch, there's going to be holes appearing now.
Well, who will provide that spark? Could it be number 19, Gavin Lockwood, who just enters the fold for Virginia Tech? So we may see the bench being utilised throughout this last 25 or so minutes. Ing's gone into scrum half now, so changes already made. Here's Anduwaga. Takes on the line himself, does Fernando Anduwaga, the man out of Ashburn. It's in the hands here of Frank Maguire. He's had a number of carries in this game so far. A little bit of confusion, but they managed to clear it. Interception. Here come the Cardinals. This is what they need. Right place, right time. And the Louisville Cardinals are in through Danny Bombard.
What a wonderful try there, just exactly when we needed it. And as Virginia Tech were trying to exit, they decided to keep it in hand. They didn't want the kick. And then Danny Bombard, my word, what a read. He went with the ball with two hands when we look back on the replay. That's a hard bit of skill. Two hands, picked it off the air, and then he had the athleticism to carry through. So we're going to watch it here. It's line speed in the wider channels. Two hands in the air. That's a really great take. And then he races through under the post, kick to come. This game could be a tie as we enter the last 20 minutes. And that's what we said. This game's going to break up a little bit. Holes, opportunities are going to be created. And my word, did Danny take it there. What a brilliant play.
Oh, Danny Bombard.
This is our game. Hey, it's our game, fellas. 15. 29. We accept the pillage, you'll pick and go. We got to kick too. Hey, this game is about to be tied. This is where we fucking step up and finish this goddamn match, all right? My bad for swearing at you.
That's brilliant stuff there in the huddles from the Louisville Cardinals. Danny Bombard caught everyone by surprise. Fantastic to get that insight into the huddles here on Next Level Rugby, giving you that reaction to the fantastic try of Danny Bombard. As we get ready to enter into what's going to be a very exciting last 20 minutes or so. The D1AA final live here on Next Level Rugby's YouTube and National Collegiate Rugby. And of course, there are plenty more fixtures to come throughout the day. We are back underway, 17 points to 15. The Hokies with the lead, the kick unsuccessful. And it's in the hands here of Chance Church. It gets brought into touch, so fantastic stuff there by the Cardinals on halfway. And
Numbers, guys?
you can see 23 minutes remaining.
Right. 3. Just make sure you're right on my mark, okay?
So we have a look.
You can step into it. Just make sure you step actually into it, okay?
Craig Wilson. The Cardinals doing a great job there off the restart.
Yeah, they've managed to get the ball back and they can launch their own attack here. This is a pulsating 20 minutes we've got going ahead.
That's all right, thank you.
Here comes Angelo Eklu. Doesn't get brought to ground correctly, so goes up and plays again. Christopher Jensvold. Another carry for that man, Stevenson. Backdoor play here with Morton Strauss. It's in the hands here now of one of the replacements, but bounces back from Morton Strauss, but forward says the referee. So number 22, BJ Selby, has entered the fold for the Louisville Cardinals, studying chemistry out of Nashville, Tennessee.
What's that? Yeah.
Virginia Tech will pack down for a scrum. You can see plenty of noise in this crowd. There is some of the Cardinals faithful, all dressed up in team uniform. It's great to see plenty of passion and energy here in Houston. And a great turnout on our Next Level Rugby and NCR live streams. Thank you very much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Brandon Eng gets the ball into the scrum for Virginia Tech. Here goes Fernando Anduaga. Backdoor play with Will Ritchie, the try scorer in the first half, and what a try it was. And it's been knocked on. The Cardinals force an error on the 22. Huge defensive play.
Brilliant. Absolutely there, Thomas. Brilliant defensive play, exactly when they needed it. Forcing a scrum and a turnover, but the scrum in the middle of the field, and what an attacking opportunity. But there was really great connection there from the defenders to force that turnover. And I think Virginia Tech were a little bit spooked last time by that intercept, so they've went within themselves a little bit, and this gives a chance for Louisville to attack in the middle of the field.
Great opportunity here for the Cardinals. It's in the hands here of the replacement for the Cardinals. Show Dull. Here goes Eklu. Bursting past the 22-metre line, but he's driven back in a good tackle. The Cardinals looking to pierce through the Hokies' defensive line. Here goes Jacob Kinsey. Morton Strauss looks for the offload away. Now to Kinsey again. Gets brought down in the tackle. You can see the try line on screen. It is not far away for Louisville. Eklu knows his way there. Does Angelo Eklu. Donlin looks for his big lock in the form of Jensvold. Just happy to take their time and be patient on this one are Louisville. Here they come. It's in the form here of BJ Selby going close. Louisville inches short. Louisville, have they scored? Oh, so close. Still 5 metres out. It's at the back here. Just happy to keep it tight and congested. Devin Roosner. Roosner going past the 5 metre channel. Louisville knocking on the door of Virginia Tech. Here goes Dull again. Show Dull. Stevenson, short pass off to Morton Strauss. Donlin looking for runners. Finds one in the form of Parker Anderson. You can see the try line on screen. Here come the Cardinals again through Dull. Donlin goes himself. Cameron Donlin. Release, says the referee. They play on, do the Cardinals, and Eklu goes over the line, but the referee says that's after the whistle, so
It was unplayable as a result.
we'll listen in.
It'll be a scrum to Louisville. Okay? It was held up
It'll be a scrum to the Cardinals, 5 metres out. Craig Wilson, Virginia Tech are just hanging on by the teeth, aren't they?
Absolutely, you can see a real change of game plan from Louisville. And in that huddle we just listened to, Jacob Kinsley, number 7, he was on about pick and goes, keep it tight, keep going forward, and exactly what they did there from that scrum that they earned a few minutes before. That was all tight rugby, it was pick and goes, and they managed to advance all the way up to the try line where the ball became unplayable. But Virginia Tech, as you said, they hung in there defensively. They're hanging in by the skin of their teeth now, so they need a big scrum.
Donlan gets away to Morton Strauss. Carrying strongly again is the number 12 for Louisville. Here comes Eklu again. Very close. Stevenson, the try scorer from last week, dancing his way towards the 5 metre line here for the Cardinals. Louisville. Eklu beats one and just goes again. Penalty advantage, says the referee, so the Cardinals with the trump card here. Donlan gets it off to Stevenson, flat pass. Virginia Tech defense holding up pretty steadily. Here goes Roosner. The ball spits out, but will come back for the penalty advantage. High tackle, says the referee, and there's a little bit of back and forth after the ball. And Eklu, tap and go. The Cardinals playing quickly here. It's in the hands here of Jake Summers, the number 8. Frantic stuff here at Aviva Stadium. Pick and go through Jensvold. Stevenson with the ball now. Wide pass into the midfield of AJ Ayers. Stevenson goes to secure it. Donlan gets it at the back. Just losing metres here are the Cardinals. Look at where they've ended up, and Liam Johnson has to go and collect the scraps. Fantastic defence there from Virginia Tech. Jensvold. Donlan gets it away to Eklu. Shrugs off one. It's in the hands here of Dull. The number 18 has made a great impact off the bench with some carries. Stevenson gets it away to Morton Strauss, who catches it flat-footed, and the Hokies meet him ably. Just slowing it down here is Donlan. He finds Jensvold again. Machining around the paddock today is Christopher Jensvold. Eklu. Powerful carry there by Eklu. Here goes Roosner. This Hokies defense throwing everything at the Cardinals right now. Stevenson awaiting it first receiver. He gets the ball. Chip and chase for Stevenson. Stevenson rushing onto the ball. Aaron Stevenson, has he got it? Huge play there by Aaron Stevenson.
So I'll tell you what I see, and you tell me if you have the same thing. Kicked in by number 10. Ball is in goal. Did the Virginia Tech player make any attempt for the ball, or did he cross in front of number 10's line?
He made an attempt for the ball.
He made an attempt for the ball. So no playing the man off the ball?
No playing the man off the ball.
Okay, so we're just going to go with the goal line dropout?
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
Great. All right.
You can see there great dialogue by the referee team, and this is the effort here from Stevenson. Fantastic vision, and the old bounce of the rugby ball just rolling away from him, and Virginia Tech just got there in time before Stevenson got any downward pressure. So great call there by the officiating team, and it doesn't get any easier though. Craig Wilson for the Hokies. Goal line dropout coming up.
Well, that was a wonderful call by the referee, and great communication with the assistant referee as well. And Connor Greer, number 22, just got it just in time. But as you said, Louisville going to get the ball back right now, so let's see what they do.
Straight back on attack here are the Cardinals. through BJ Selby. Donlan gets it off to one of the new men on the field, Carter Mikaelele. Donlan gets it off to Stevenson. Inside pass to Selby again, getting some lovely touches off the bench. The man out of Nashville. Eklu looking to pump those legs again. You can see time entering into danger zone on the clock. Nearly 10 minutes remaining. Stevenson off to Morton Strauss. AJ Ayers, space to move here for the Cardinals. Down the outside here for Ayers. The 22-metre line just beyond the screen. Stevenson goes in to play halfback. Gets it off to Donlan at first receiver, who shrugs it away to Dull. Show Dull in the 18 jersey. Intercept here by Virginia Tech. Fernando Anduaga past the halfway. Fernando Anduaga past the 22, and the Hokies are in this time. Against the run of play, Fernando Anduaga, the player coach. That has come from nothing, Craig Wilson.
Absolutely. Well, it's actually come from brilliant defense from Virginia Tech. Massive credit to them. For the last 5 or 6 minutes, they've been under some serious pressure. And I tell you what, their coach, their captain, Fernando Anduaga, he spots the opportunity, and he had a lot to do here. He had 60 yards, maybe 70 yards to go, and look how he's sprinting away. He's only getting faster and faster. He's getting further away from the covering defense, under the post, and my word, that was a big play from one of their big players. Massive respect to Fernando Anduaga there.
Well, he certainly showed a clean pair of heels, and he really has been instrumental for this Virginia Tech side, stepping up at such a crucial time of the game. You could hear that in the interview. Sean Egan, one of the coaches for Virginia Tech, saying how Anduaga is so instrumental for these boys on the field, being one of the coaches. And the conversion is a good one. The flags go up, so Aviva Stadium, we have a cracking finish here. You can see the replay on your screen. Anduaga, Johnny on the spot. It was the pass of Morton Strauss, and look at those arms pumping. Just eyes on the try line. No chance for the defenders around him, and he goes under the sticks. And it's fair to say, Craig Wilson, he was pretty tired.
Yeah, he was working hard there. You could see his facial expressions. He was working really hard, but what a massive bit of effort. About 10 minutes left of your season to put that shift in, but there's only 10 minutes left, and we saw, though, from Louisville, that's more than enough. They did it last week. Can they do it again this week?
Here we go, 24 points to 15. Just over 10 minutes to play here in your NCR D1AA Championship final, brought to you by Next Level Rugby. It's been a cracker. Brandon Ing plays scrum half, gets it off to the try scorer Anduaga, who just can't quite collect it cleanly. So this is the opportunity that Louisville potentially needed to respond.
Absolutely, and that's all to do with fatigue there from Anduaga. He's just did that massive play for his team, and as you'll see in these last few moments, skill sets do tend to drop as fatigue kicks in. So when before the start of the game his hands would have been high, his hands were down by his side, hence a knock-on. So that was a tough one for Anduaga there and Virginia Tech, but it's given Louisville the shot on the arm they need to get a score very quickly.
Here go the Cardinals. You can see the back line set up at pretty good depth. So what can Aaron Stevenson conjure up here for Louisville? Time winding down on the clock. And what's been a fantastic second fixture here at Aviva Stadium on your Saturday afternoon. Donlan gets it into the scrum. Gets it off to Stevenson, who finds Morton Strauss to Shelby. It's on the right side here for Reed Terry, the fullback. And a penalty comes the way of the Cardinals, and the referees will have a chat straight away.
24, so 24 red, hit the player, landed on his back.
He had nowhere to go, so he had to take that inside. Remember, we watched it in film. If you stay straight, you draw that last defense.
And immediately we see the referee go to the pocket, so this could be a huge moment in the game for Virginia Tech. It was a tip tackle. We heard the dialogue there between the referees, so
Let's go!
you can see the replay here, Craig Wilson potentially.
Yeah, a bit of a dangerous tackle after the pass here, picked him up, and he landed. Luckily, he landed on his shoulders, but that could have been really ugly. I think yellow card's a right call there. We have to treat the players safely, and that wasn't so safe.
That's fantastic stuff there by the referee team to pick that up. Virginia Tech poached the line out, however, so the Cardinals can't successfully launch into this Virginia Tech try-line zone. Here comes Goes, looking to work it out of their channel. Strong carry from Goes. Brandon Ing goes in to play scrum half and finds his number 20 in the form of Zach Harding new onto the field. Anduaga, the try scorer. Fernando Anduaga, a bit of space for him to move. They get the pass away, but not cleanly, so it'll be a scrum down to Louisville. And there'll be time off for an injury, so the final 8 minutes, Craig Wilson, the last opportunity.
A lot of walking. You got 10 minutes. 10 minutes for everything. Let's go.
This has become an absolute war of attrition, this game. Absolute war of attrition. You can see the coach there here who's talking in. He says there's players walking, there's players standing still, and what he's meaning by that, there's going to be holes created. So now, with the scoreline as it is, 24-15 Virginia Tech, Louisville have got to start forcing the play now, forcing the tempo to really get the next score, because the next score in this game is going to be absolutely vital.
Certainly will be the deciding factor in this one. Fantastic. I think it's number 7 there, Jacob Kinsey, who gets back on his feet. He's been instrumental for the Cardinals today, and it might be Parker Anderson rather. We'll try to get a number for you. I think it is number 6, Parker Anderson, so good to see him back on his feet, running around. Final 8 minutes of this D1AA. It will be Donlin getting ready to feed the ball into the scrum for the Cardinals. It's at the back here for Donlin now. Gets it off to Stevenson. Morton Strauss to Ayers. Here for Selby. In the blue headgear. BJ Selby, the man studying chemistry. What can he cook up here? Here goes Jensvold past the 22. Stevenson takes it flat-footed, finds Morton Strauss bursting through. Brennan Morton Strauss. Selby goes into play 9, gets it off to Eklu. The try line beckoning here for the Cardinals. Donlin gets it off again to Morton Strauss, who made that fantastic break. It's in the hands here of Dull. Show Dull. Stevenson looking for runners, goes for the wide pass. Out to Jacob Kinsey, who takes it himself, the number 7. Counter attack coming in from Fernando Anduaga, but it just pops out at the back there for the Cardinals, so play on. Here goes Jensvold. Just looking to marshal their troops around as Donlin. Looking for runners, gets it off to Selby. BJ Selby. He's everywhere, that man. Donlin finds Eklu. Just pinching meters here at the moment are Louisville. Stevenson goes himself. Donlin looking for runners. Finds it in the form of number 8, Jake Summers. Donlan gets it off to Dull. Show Dull. Strong carry. Try line. In sight. Here come the Cardinals. Almost burst through here through Jake Kinsey. Goes number 16, Carter McAley. McAley goes over the line. The Cardinals have scored. And it is Carter McAley. Here come Louisville.
What a try when Louisville needed it most. Absolutely brutal rugby in the best possible way. It was all go forward. And number 12, Brennan Morden-Strauss, has a big part to play with that. Sets the ball up nicely. And what a big, strong carry there. Look at the leg drive and then the reach. So the try line awareness to get that ball down under a lot of pressure. Take a bow, that man. Huge work rate. And this is set up an absolutely grandstand finish.
Well, a grandstand finish it is indeed. That man on screen, Carter McAley. Of course, there was Dylan McGivney. Late change to Carter McAley. Gets the try, and this, as Craig Wilson said, sets up an outstanding finish here in Houston. Aviva Stadium. It is the D1AA Championship final. 24 points to 22. The Hokies with the lead, but you get a feeling there is more turns in the tail of this one. And that is one that will start us off right there. The kick doesn't go 10, so the Cardinals get the scrum on halfway. Craig Wilson.
Brilliant attacking opportunity, very tough for Virginia Tech. We mentioned it early in the first half. A midfield scrum is a wonderful attacking position because the defense naturally has to be a bit more passive because they're defending more of the field. So I anticipate a little bit of pressure here on Virginia Tech, and let's see if the Cardinals can launch an attack very late in this game.
This is a huge moment in this championship final. Donlan gets it off to Stevenson. It's in the midfield here of Selby, who works it past the halfway meter mark for the Cardinals. Jensvold running onto the ball as he has done all game for Louisville. Stevenson looking for runners, goes for the crossfield kick option, and it just doesn't bounce up into the hands of Liam Johnson, so maybe a little bit too creative there for time on the clock. You can see the coach there just saying keep the ball in hand, and
yeah, it was a little bit tougher to see, but fair play to Virginia Tech. I think it was the winger, potentially Will Ritchie. He forced that kick because he went really high. We call it a high defender, and he got in Aaron Stevenson's line, and that forced him into the kick. So brilliant defending without having to make a tackle.
You can hear the chants ringing around Aviva Stadium into the final 2 minutes of this championship final. The Cardinals regain possession off the line out. Eklu with the carry. Can this be a man to snatch it from the death?
Hey, leave it. No, that's a dead rock, and he's in the way.
Stevenson, first receiver. Gets the flat pass away, so need to do a bit of work to enter into the Hokies halfway here. There's a bit of space to move here for the Cardinals down the outside. High tackle advantage and immediate penalty here to the Cardinals, so the referee sends the card straight away.
Now, are they two players in the bin now?
Marcus here, play on. High tackle, yellow.
Down to 13 men, I believe.
Yeah.
They tap and go quickly. Donlan gets it off to Jensvold. Just over a minute left on the game clock. Eklu Gets the don't argue away ×3. Referee asking players to move away from the ball. And the penalty's given to the Cardinals. Donlan taps and goes quickly. Gets the quick pass away, but Anduaga's got the strip. That's a huge play there from Fernando Anduaga. The Hokies in possession of the ball now. Deep inside their 22. It's in the hands now of Zach Harding. Under a minute to go here in Houston. The Hokies with a 2-point buffer in the box seat. Full time, says the referee. All Virginia Tech need to do is get it out. And Anduaga does just that. Your 2022 National Division I AA champions, Virginia Tech. Jubilation. Hear the passion, Craig Wilson.
Oh, wow, what a finish. Paying credit to Virginia Tech. 13 men left. They were playing pretty much the last 10 minutes with a man down and then 2 men down. My word, they deserve Division I champions. What a huge effort. Congratulations to
Fernando, come here.
I am down here with the back-to-back national champions, Virginia Tech Rugby. Fernando, you had an amazing game, but the mindset of Virginia Tech, it's not just one, it's all. Tell me about what this game was like for you guys.
Man, this whole season was a struggle for us. We worked every single week to get better. We play the top teams in the country, only making us better. But I have to give it out to these guys for picking me up as a president, picking me up as a person, and having my back at all times.
It's so inspirational. You're a student-led program. What do you hope to do for rugby and inspire others?
We always plan to play as an underdog. No matter who you are, no matter what background you come from, you can play rugby. You can play 100%. Half of these guys have been playing 1 year. It's their first year, and they all came out and performed. So I'm so proud of our guys.
Fernando, congratulations, and congratulations to the entire team.
Thank you so much.
2022 national champions, back to you guys.
We have witnessed a game of the ages here in Houston. It is Virginia Tech, the Hokies, coming up trumps your 2022 D1 AA national champions. That's all we have time here for on Next Level Rugby. Thomas Grant with Craig Wilson. We'll see you again very soon, ladies and gentlemen.
And a good morning to you, rugby fans. Welcome to beautiful New Orleans, Louisiana. We have 7 rugby action coming for you all day.
Blow up the spot, then we run it. Ready or not, here we coming. Somebody better say a prayer for